You're listening to the Platte River Bard.
Hello, and welcome to the Platte River Bard. This is Chris Berger.
And I'm Sherry Berger.
And we are here today with the Angels Theater Company First Flight Festival. This is their 10th anniversary. And we are here with the Interim Artistic Director, Mr. Jamie Bullins, once again, joining us.
Back in the center square.
Back in the center square. Thank you very much. We always appreciate talking with Jamie.
Love it.
And we're also here with two of our writers. We have Dave Chapelle. He is a playwright. He has entered a submission into the First Flight Festival, I believe, again.
Yes.
And thank you for speaking with us. This is our first time talking with Dave.
Cool.
We keep missing you. And also we are here with Adrien Loehring, and she is a playwright and composer. She is doing the musical for First Flight this year, and she also has a monologue.
Yes.
And thank you, one and all, for joining us here. We are here in the Temple Building, actually, on campus. This is the 10th anniversary, Jamie, and 10 years going strong. This year, you said you had almost, is it 14 or more this year?
We have 14 pieces.
Okay.
So 3 of them, now my numbers might be wrong. 3 of them are monologues.
Okay.
8 or 9 of them are short plays.
Okay.
One of them is a short musical.
Mm.
And then this year, I think this is the first year, someone confirmed this the other day, is our first puppet show. Some crazy person wrote a puppet show.
Yes.
Who did that?
That was me.
You're responsible for the puppet show?
I am responsible for the puppet show, but it's funny. I mean, I think it is. So we'll see.
Man, you had me at puppet show.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Puppets.
What kind of puppet?
They're
A
cats.
person a cat.
They're cats. They're 3 cats hanging on a wire, and it's called "Hang in There, Baby."
Oh, I had that poster growing up.
That's where it came from.
That's
love it.
awesome. I like it. Well, let's start here, because you were the person, you are directing
Yes,
her musical.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm directing Planted, which is
Planted, okay.
the 3rd year running that Adrien has composed a short musical, and that I've directed it, and hopefully I'll not screw it up again.
Let's hope so.
But yes, we've become quite the team in terms of like musicals. So
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
exciting. It's
great.
It's always the most, and in fact, to be perfectly honest with you, I'll say it here, and hopefully no one will hear me, because this is private, right? This is like a safe space.
Absolutely.
No one's going to hear this.
No.
Is that I secretly wrote the puppet show because I was tired of the musical getting all the attention.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Hey.
And yet you cut my interpretive dance play.
Man.
We had that interpretive dance piece last year that Elbert wrote. Remember the fishing one?
I don't, because I was getting ready to go on.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. You were performing last year.
Yes.
And this
he's
year, too.
performing this year, too.
Oh, that's yes. You are. Yeah.
I've reached that age where they need an old guy. I get a phone call.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually old cranky guy.
What's that supposed to mean?
Yes, be specific.
That's right. And of course, Dave Chapelle, playwright, written lots of plays, lots of things. I know he's a
Yes.
regular contributor to Solo Tales and Ales, as well as some other stuff around town.
Yeah, if you've been to melodramas, you've probably seen some of his shows.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
As a matter of fact, there's 3 of them right now up at Mahoney Park.
Yeah.
And when they close the summer, the 4th one opens.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They'll have another one coming.
That's right.
fall
In
Yeah.
August,
show.
I think.
Yeah, the fall show. Yeah.
Yep. That's
That's
great.
right.
Awesome. Our own Dave Chapelle.
That's right. He's ours.
It's ours.
That's right. And now, just how long is playwriting something you came to later in life, or is it something you've always been a writer and now you're doing plays? Or because I've met several people who didn't come to it till later.
Yes and no.
Okay.
How old was I? 30 something?
Okay.
When I started up with the melodramas, and that was because John Burkhart was doing the melodramas out at Mahoney State Park and was having difficulty coming up with plays.
Right.
Because he had a specific cast that he had, which at the time was 3 men and 4 women.
Okay.
So I started writing plays on demand.
For 3 men and 4 women.
And
Okay.
then he called me up and said, we're cutting it down to 3 and 3. Okay. Sorry about that, Agnes. You're gone.
Very interesting. Yeah, it's got good. Now, Jamie, you write and have something in here as well. Of course, the puppet show. When did you start writing? And
Not
letting
that
people
long.
see it.
Not that long ago. I mean, I think the first thing I wrote was almost 10 years ago. So
Okay.
I was in my 40s.
In your 40s? Okay.
Yeah, it was on my bucket list. It's like...
Was it? Okay.
As you get older, no one else here would understand this.
No, of course not.
Except maybe Dave. But as you get older, you have a list of things that you're like, well, crap, I haven't done this yet. And I've always wanted to sort of try it. So writing was always on my list. I was like, I want to write stories. I want to write plays as well. And so, but I just never really started on it. And I got kickstarted because I had a colleague when I used to teach in Georgia who was a playwright, and the Kennedy Center in DC every year has this thing called the Playwriting Intensive.
Okay.
And it's open to anyone, but you have to apply and get accepted. And so she was encouraging me. She said, you want to write, so why don't you write and send something in, because it's training, right? It'll get you kickstarted.
Absolutely.
And I wrote and entered a play, and I didn't get in. And then they sent me an email and they said, we should try again next year because we had so many applicants this year. And I always thought, well, that's just a brush off.
Sure.
You really kind of suck, so just don't try again. Yeah. But then I thought, okay, so next summer I wrote something else and I sent it in and I got in the second time.
Oh,
and
nice.
so after that, I felt encouraged. So I just kept writing after that. And I'm pretty slow about it sometimes, which was great for me with the collective and First Flight, because I've written something in... I think I've had something in the last 3 years of First Flight.
Okay.
But they're short, so I don't have to commit. I have several full-length projects on the table that I've written the first 5 pages.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm like, I need to write about 55 more pages. So
Been there, done that.
Yeah, right? So the length helps a lot in terms of it doesn't take as much time.
Fair enough.
Right? So. Yeah, and I've started teaching playwriting as well now, so it's it's kind of fun.
Yes, because if you haven't heard our other podcast that we've done with Jamie, it is an entire process for the Playwriting Collective at Angels.
Is it?
Yeah, they go
So-
through a big process now.
Lots of input.
Now, Adrien is not only writing, but she's composing.
Yes.
When did you come to this? Composing musicals and writing as well?
Yeah. I've written music all my life, and so
Okay.
that part was not new. But I would say probably 5 or 6 years ago, I started working on a full-length musical, and then working through that process sort of brought me to the collective, which is when I said, well, what about a short musical for First Flight? And at the time, Kathy Disney was like, I don't know, we've never done that before, and asked Jamie, and Jamie was like, sure, why not? So that's when I started writing the short musicals. So just 3 years ago with the short musicals, but I've been writing a full-length musical for a while now. And like I said, I've been writing music for a long time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
So every entry that is in this festival, how much time do they get for each piece?
Maximum time allotted.
Like 12 minutes generally. Yeah.
Really?
10 to 12 minutes.
12 to 15, yeah.
We try to
Super
keep them short. Yeah, we try to keep them
Yeah.
around 10 minutes. And some of them are shorter. I mean, because we have 3 monologues, and I think the longest monologue is like 3 minutes or something. So maybe 4.
5 minutes, yeah.
And
So if you're working on a full piece, you have to pick out which area of the play that you want to do, if you've already written a full piece, or how does that work? Is that a stupid question?
No, it is not a stupid
I'm
question,
sorry.
but I'm going to give you a cranky answer. Not a cranky answer, but we discourage people from taking bits of full-length pieces
And
because
make
they
it-
don't stand
make it
alone
complete.
as well. Like when I teach students to write short plays have to have a beginning and a middle and an end, just like a full-length play. And if you write a full-length play and then you take a section of it,
Yeah.
it doesn't usually stand on its own. Well.
Right.
Now there are other organizations and there are other opportunities within Angels to develop and work full-length plays, but that's not what First Flight is.
Okay.
So.
Right. So this is kind of to get people started in something that's kind of a complete thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And it also, writing short pieces doesn't mean, not every writer that writes plays writes full-length plays. There are people who
Right.
specialize in short plays.
In the short plays, yeah.
And they do just fine, and then maybe
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what they want to do. And so if you look at, there are bazillions of 10-minute play festivals and short play festivals all over the country, all over the world, all the time. And so it is its own genre in terms of
I have noticed that. Yeah, there are whole websites that are just dedicated just to 10-minute
Yeah.
10-minute
Yeah.
plays.
There's an international festival called Short Plus Sweet, and they started in Australia, and then they branched out, and they had festivals in India and different countries in Europe and things like that, and now they have one in Hollywood. It's like, it is global, their particular organization, and they do festival presentations in all these different countries every year. So
Well, and I think something
Incredible.
that's unique about First Flight too is it has to be new work.
yes.
You can't take
That-
a play you wrote 10 years ago and submit it. You need to have written it within basically the year.
That's the preference.
That is a
Yeah.
preference. Hence First Flight, because this will be
Right.
Yeah.
hopefully the first time anybody has ever seen this material.
Yes, that is the goal. And we also choose a theme so that we have a thematic sort of element for the year.
What is the theme for
This year, the theme is Hold On.
Hold on.
And so the plays can be loosely connected to the theme, but we hope that in some way, shape, or form that they're somewhat inspired
A little more connected.
by
Okay.
the theme. And last year it was Should I Stay or Should I Go?
That's right.
This year it's Hold On, and we're about to announce what next year's is
With
soon.
the theme for next year.
Yay.
Excellent.
And Dave loves themes.
Oh, yeah.
Do you like? Do you like it?
I think she meant that facetious.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Well,
One of the charming and endearing things about me is that another industry involved in playwriting is prompts, books of prompts. And that's the fastest way to see Dave go from 0 to 60.
Or just run out of the room.
Yeah.
I have seen
yeah.
that.
Actually, yeah, now that you mentioned it, I have.
I remember that day.
Hey Dave, we're gonna do a prompt.
Bye.
not
Oh,
a-
yeah, now I remember. Yeah.
Not
I was
a
like,
fan.
we're gonna take a break and go to the bathroom. Dave?
All right.
So you are not a fan of writing prompts?
No, not actually, because writers have one job: finding the thing to write about. And writers' prompts just, to me, strips them of that. I mean, one job, you had one job to do, and now you're looking through a book of writer prompts trying to find something to write about.
Fair enough.
I
I've
will
I've
offer.
heard
I'm
pro
gonna
and
offer-
against.
Yes, I'm going to offer a varying opinion.
I've heard some writers are using AI now for writer prompts too.
Oh,
I know.
you're gonna make me curse.
Can
You're
you
gonna make me
edit that
swear.
part out of the show?
Yeah, you're gonna make me swear. So just
I'm
don't
gonna
use
get
that word.
beat up before I get out of here.
But a differing opinion is I like writing prompts because I find them inspirational. Because
Fair.
it gives me a little bit of a spark if I don't have one. Because sometimes, and according to Dave's opinion right there, is that I've got nothing. and sometimes that gets me going. But I feel I look at them as more of exercises. I will say the play that I wrote last year for First Flight was called Edith. It came from a prompt at a collective meeting. Bridget Amos brought in a whole bunch of photographs, threw them out on the table, and she was like, pick up one of these photographs, go write about what you see. And I actually started the play. In fact, I composed a good chunk of it that day in the collective because of a photograph that I found that inspired an idea. Now, the idea was already in my head because I wrote about someone that I knew.
Okay.
But that idea wasn't as fresh or in the front of my head until I picked up that photograph. So I find them inspirational, and some people, and again, it doesn't work for everybody, right? Not everybody works. Everybody works differently. So, it's not about the process as much as it is about what the story is that you come up with.
Fair enough.
Well, and Angel's theme is so broad.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on.
It's pretty
That's
broad.
pretty broad. You can find something within that pretty easily.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Now-
I don't think we've addressed the names of their work.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, what is it? Dave's the one you wrote is
The one I wrote is, let me think,
which one? Which one made it in?
not a Beckett play.
Yes,
That's right, not a Beckett play.
Yes.
And which one? Now you're in one. Which one are you in?
I'm in the New Pioneers.
And you're in the New Pioneers.
Which is written by Clay Ferris Knapp.
Oh, that's Clay Ferris Knapp.
Yes,
Yeah.
We talked to him last year.
Which 2 years ago I directed his Mix and Matchinate,
There
which
you go.
was a piece of a larger
Oh
play.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
2 years ago.
boo.
Gosh.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
He gave it a beginning, middle, and end, which
He did.
I appreciate
He
it. Now, what was the name? You said the name of the musical, and I completely
The
spaced.
musical this year is called Planted.
Planted. That's
Yes.
right. That's right. Now,
Yes.
and the monologue.
The monologue I have in this year is called Sparkbird.
Oh, you wrote Sparkbird.
Yes.
Okay. That was one of the audition
yes,
pieces.
that was one of the audition pieces,
And
so we
it
saw
was
it a
one of
lot.
the popular audition
Yes,
pieces,
yes.
actually.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm glad to hear
A lot
that.
of people selected it.
Yes,
to
they did.
audition with.
We heard that many times. Well, that's good though.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, do we want to mention any of the other playwrights real quick?
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Don't make me.
too
You're
many?
not going to quiz me, are you?
No.
All of them, because there's a lot. Now we do. I can tell you, we have one first-time playwright. Her name's Kathy Swenson. This is the first time she's
First
had
time.
anything of hers produced.
Nice.
And this is, I think, she's just getting started writing plays. I think she's written other things.
Okay.
She's actually one of our performers, Britta. How do I say Britta's last name?
Tullisford.
Thank you. She's actually Britta's mother. So Britta has been involved with
Oh.
Angels for years, and she's been performing as an actor in many Angels projects. And then she would talk about First Flight and the collective, and her mother came to see her perform last year in First Flight, and then got involved in the collective this year. So she's a first timer, and
That's great.
she's very excited. But there's a mix. Two of the people who have written plays for this are students who have either recently they neither have graduated. They're both students here.
So I noticed. Yeah, there were a couple of young
And,
students. Yeah.
That's exciting. And then we have people who have been writing for a long time and have been involved with the collective for years and the First Flight for years. So it's a good mix. It really is.
And somebody who I was kind of surprised is Bob Hall, who wrote
Yes.
something. Who I didn't realize.
The Bob Hall.
He's the Bob Hall who, if no one else knows that, he
comic.
writes and draws comics,
Yeah.
and I kind of lost my mind.
You
Yeah.
can catch him at any
He
Comic-Con all around the country.
Yes, and that's what he's going to be doing for like the next 3 weeks, actually. So
Yeah.
he won't be coming to any.
Yeah, he won't be seeing First Flight because he's off.
Yeah.
doing
And he
Comic-Con.
also wrote The Passion of Dracula.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like
Years
that.
and years ago, there used to be a cable network called Showtime.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
And they had a series of off-Broadway plays.
Yeah.
And they were 1 hour. So if your play was an hour and 45 minutes, there were significant cuts.
Oh, okay.
But they did Passion of Dracula, and I happened to see it late night, once upon a time. And then one night, me and Mike Roberts, who started doing melodramas and wrote me into it, and met a guy, this older guy, sitting at the bar at Duffy's. He says, "You guys talking about theater?" And I said, "Yeah, I do theater." "Oh, really?" "Uh-huh. Okay, fine." "Yeah, I write some too." And then he said, "Yeah, I wrote Passion of Dracula." And then I fell apart. I did a fanboy explosion on him.
Which is what
Yeah, he
Chris
did
did
too.
on him the other night.
Yes, I
Yes,
did.
It was
I
hilarious. It was hilarious.
I know.
Now another person too the gentleman who wrote the play you're directing, Chris, Fred Oles.
Yes, Fred Oles.
Now this is Fred's first play.
Is this his first play?
This is his first play in First Flight as well. And Fred used to be the president of Nebraska Wesleyan.
Yes, he is president emeritus, yes.
We have.
You have a gamut.
Yes, we have a gamut of people.
We really do.
Who write for the collective.
And
so.
you've got Bridget Amos, which
Yes.
she did write a a show that went to production with
Oh, she's written
Angels.
2 for Angels.
Yeah.
The last one that she wrote, I directed, called Dove.
Yep.
Dove,
That
that's
was
right.
2 years ago, and then she had written another one that was performed by Angels before. And Bridget lives in New Jersey now.
Yeah.
Oh.
But we wanted to bring
Yeah.
back, because it's the 10th anniversary, we wanted to bring back a play from the first year.
Oh.
And Kitchen Garden,
That-
that Bridget wrote, we're performing it again this year from the first festival. And the actors, John and C. Spurkart, who performed it 10 years ago, are performing it again.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
Yes.
It's very exciting.
Yes.
Is
That's
that
exciting.
Judy Hart directing?
Yes,
that
and
show?
Judy Hart is directing.
Who directed it the first time,
Who
didn't she?
directed
Yeah.
it? I
Yes.
don't, did Judy direct it the first time?
It was just before my time.
I don't know if
actually.
Judy directed the first time, but I do know we're excited to have Judy back directing because Judy is the founding.
Yes, I was just going to
She's
say.
the founder of Angels Theater Company. So
And the person that wrote me into all of this.
yeah,
Yes,
yes.
I was just going to say she was.
She is the
a
grand
staple.
dame of
Yes.
theater in Lancaster County.
Oh, that's really neat. Yeah, Cecilia, I got to
Such
work
a
with her
nice
2 years ago.
lady.
She was in Mixon
Yeah.
Matinee. She's
Yeah.
so much fun. She's
Yeah.
so much fun.
Yep.
And of course, I don't think I actually said, I get to, Fred Oles wrote mine, and mine is called Hunter Gatherer, and I'm directing that one. And I have just 2 people in there, the Hunter and the Gatherer.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. So fun.
Yes.
What are the times on these? I'm sorry, they're not on here.
The evening shows on Thursday, Friday, Saturday are at 7:30.
Okay.
And then the Sunday shows are at 2.
2,
The
okay.
exciting thing about it is that we have 2 flights, right? So
Yeah, explain
we have-
to everybody how
so
this
we have
works.
Flight A and Flight B, and each are different plays. And now Kitchen Garden, which is Bridget's play, the one we're bringing back from the first year, it's performing at the top of each flight. So what will happen is
Okay.
we alternate shows. We alternate flights. So like Thursday night, the 17th of July, we will do the Flight A plays. And there are like 8 of them. And we'll do that series of plays. The next night, on Friday night, will be Flight B. So it's a whole different set of plays. And we rotate all the way through the 2 weekends, opposite nights. So if you want to see all of the plays in the First Flight Festival, you have to come twice. You have to come either
nights.
Thursday and Friday or Friday and Saturday or whatever. And you can buy a package ticket deal also if you just go to the website, which I don't remember right off the top of my head. But you can
Right.
edit that in later maybe.
I
or
will.
it's
We'll do
also
an
on
outro.
our Facebook page.
You know, I say
Yeah.
they're
Go
all
to the
over
Facebook
Facebook.
page. It's all over there. But
And
you can
I'm
buy your
there.
tickets now. And if you buy your tickets now, you get an early bird discount.
It's angelscompany.org.
What she said.
Yep.
And then on Facebook, it's Angels Theater Company. So you can
Yeah.
find all the information there.
What he said.
So, for the writers in the room, just kind of talk about what this process has been like. What have you found so far that's been something that will make you want to do it again? Or has it been a fun process?
It's always fun. If it wasn't fun, we wouldn't keep doing it.
Fair.
Because they don't get paid very much.
Yeah. Well,
And you don't really do it for the money. You basically do it because you have to.
Yeah.
Jamie told you to do it.
It's true.
No, because you got to get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
that's
if not for
true,
the
yes.
writing, all that crazy stuff would stay stuck in our heads.
Got
It's
it.
true.
Sure. Got it.
I think it's really fun to see what people do with your work. You know, I
Yeah.
like to actually quote Dave by saying this is Dave will say, once I'm done with it, it's somebody else's problem. But I kind of like that sentiment. Like the director will do what they want. The actors will do what they want. And that actually gives you good perspective on your own writing in terms of, well, maybe I wasn't making this clear, or wow, I had never thought of staging it like this. That's such a great way to do it. So it's great to see your work interpreted by other people.
Well, it's because what we do is
Yeah.
is truly a collaborative process, right? So there's so many people
Yeah.
at the table to make it all happen, and that's very exciting. And it's also exciting because it sometimes if you put the work out there past the limitations of Lancaster County or Lincoln, then it has another life, right? And and the stories are told to further communities and things like that. And actually, Adrien's musical last year, 9/15,
9/15.
was just performed at a short festival in Florida.
Yeah.
Hey, cool.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if you just keep putting it out there, they have lives beyond the First Flight Festival. And that's really what I think the First Flight Festival is for. I feel like we're being more successful if people are taking their short plays after First Flight and then putting them out there for other festivals and other theaters and other communities to share, so they don't just get stuck in the Temple building, right? And they go farther and out beyond us. I think that's one of the things I encourage all the writers of the collective to do is that, get your writing out. There are so many opportunities to submit your work all over the place. It's like, just please keep it going. Don't just write just for the First Flight Festival and that's it.
Yeah, keep it going.
So.
And after you see your play being done, do you think you're going to take it back and change some of it, or
Yeah,
what do you think?
I certainly change things after I see it performed. It gives me a good idea too of like what other people thought was funny versus what I thought was funny. So,
Fair enough.
I think, people will think this is hilarious and it gets a small chuckle. And then other things that I don't think people will think is that funny, it gets a big laugh. And so I think you go back and kind of edit your work and say, okay, this worked, this didn't. I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, I know. That's not.
You don't?
You let it go. You let it go.
Anybody who writes and has a reputation has written a book about writing. And at some point, you're going to find a page that says, don't edit until after you're done. I rip that page out and throw it away. I'm constantly editing while I'm writing.
Okay, you edit on the fly as you're doing
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And maybe it's repetition, but I don't really have to change very much after I get it finished.
Well, I think it's because you're your own editor.
Yeah, you're editing as you go.
Because I think that comes with experience too. Because you have the ability. I think after you do it a long time, you have ability, and you've seen your work performed. As you're writing it, you have the ability to edit yourself. And when I wrote the short play I wrote last year, it took me forever to write the ending. I wrote the ending like 4 times.
Oh, wow.
And I just kept thinking, oh, no, this isn't going to work. Why is this not going to work? Oh, this isn't going to work. Why is that not going to? And then finally, I wrote one that I was happy with, and I didn't change it after that. But
Okay.
I think you can self-edit, but I do think, again, it's a truly collaborative process. So it's like you don't know how actors are going to play it.
No.
You don't know how actors are going to play it. You don't know how directors are going to, put their stamp on it or try to move through the story with the actors. And a certain actor may play it in a way that you're like, well, that's not funny anymore, or wait, that's super funny, and I didn't mean that to be funny at all.
Yeah.
And so I think we playwrights and composers and lyricists for musicals write for their work to be performed. You don't write just to sit down while you're in your living room having a glass of tea reading it. That's not what they're for.
Writing to be read,
They're
yeah.
for performance, right? And so there's a whole other element to it. Like once you're done with this and you hand it off to someone to direct it, there's another step. There's more to it. So it's never done on the page. Even if you're finished writing it and you don't go back and change any of the words, it still has more work. Right, there's more work that has to be done with when the other people come to the process. So yeah, I don't edit a lot after I'm finished either. I'm sort of in between Adrien and Dave.
Do you give your stuff to people to edit? Do you have an editor friend that you like to give stuff to?
I'm in a writing group.
Are you in a writing group?
A musical theater writing group.
Oh, nice.
And so I almost always bring my work to my musical theater writing group and share
that's
and
cool.
get feedback. I appreciate that other people are kind of like, well, when it's done, and I'm done. But I feel like for me as a writer, the best thing I can do is see it performed and then make it better. I think that my work is never done. That something can always be better. Something can always be edited, improved, things like that. So I guess I look at that differently in terms of I always want it to be just a little bit better or a little bit, change things here and there.
And we do that with the collective as well. When
was
she
gonna
speaks
say-
of a writing group, like she has a musical writing group.
Yeah.
That's what we do in the collective. We bring short plays, we read them out loud, we respond.
I think that's so
and things like
cool.
that.
Lincoln is so lucky to have Angels with that writers collective.
Yeah.
And if there are any playwrights out here that are listening, they're anywhere around Lincoln or whatever, Lincoln has a playwriting collective. And they all pass stuff back and forth, and they all read it, and they all help each other out and give each other notes. And it's kind of a fantastic thing that not everybody has access to. And I know I have a buddy who's a playwright, and he's in Lawrence, and he's not around any playwrights. He has one friend that he submits stuff to, and that's it, and me. And he talks to me. And he's like, it's kind of hard sometimes because I'm away from all of my sort of the base of the people that he used to have, and they're all gone, and he doesn't, and it's like it makes it difficult sometimes because he's like, I don't know, is this any good? I'm sitting at home and by myself. I'm like, well, I think it's funny, but what the hell do I know? You know?
Yeah, I rely on the voices in my head, man.
If they don't like it, it's out.
Omaha has Great Plains Theater Commons.
Absolutely.
So great resources for both cities.
Well, and
really.
Omaha has a separate, so we sort of have a sister company in Omaha.
Really?
I mean, we're not actually related. I mean, sort of half sister.
Half sister, okay.
Shelter Belt, which is a theater
Yes.
company. in
Oh,
Omaha,
yeah.
They only do new work.
Yep.
Yes.
In fact, they're getting ready to perform a play written by Laura, who wrote Eminent Domain, which was our
Ooh.
last
Leninger
show.
Campbell.
Yes.
And so she has a play that's getting ready to open in July at Shelter Belt. Well, see, Shelter Belt is just like Angels. They only do new work, and
Yes.
they do have short play festivals as well.
Yes,
they
They have
do.
one in October called Shelter or something like that. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
And so they have there's a writing group in Omaha.
That's amazing.
Outside Great Plains, which is called Shelter Belt. And they were sort of defunct for a long time.
Yes.
And they sort of refunked.
Yes, yes.
And they have a space in an old bakery warehouse or something. It's really kind of cool.
Isn't
It's a
it?
cool space.
And there's
Yeah.
parking, which is
Yeah,
always
there's-
makes a
there's-
difference when you're downtown.
And there's parking.
There's parking. I went to see Lizzie, the musical there. It was,
Oh,
it was
yes.
great.
Yes, I heard great things about it.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they always get a lot of good folks. But yeah, that's that one that they're doing there. It's an all-female cast. Is that am I thinking right?
The one that opens in July?
I think so.
I think so. I'm not
yeah.
familiar with that one, but we're all going to see it on
Yeah,
July 11th.
yeah. I think I
So
remember
a
seeing
bunch
it.
of people
It
are
was
going to
all-
go try to go see it on July 11th because
Yeah.
we all know her and love her. She's great.
Heck
So
yeah.
we're
You're going to see it on the 11th?
Yeah.
Buried Phoenix.
Yes,
Buried Phoenix, that's
what we're
it.
gonna try to see. And they're also producing, Shelter Belt is producing in the fall a show called Pivot. The playwright's name is Alex. And we're producing that show as well in October. It was just kind of
Ooh.
a kismet thing that happened. It's
That's
like
cool.
We both sort of hooked onto this
That's
play and this
great.
playwright at the same time.
Oh, that's
Excuse me,
great.
but that's happening in the fall. We're sort of cross-promoting
Cross-promoting
at
that?
some point.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wonderful.
And that's going to be at Wyuka Stables in October. I think we open on the 9th. Pivot. It's really good. Pivot. Very funny. Tell us what Not a Beckett play is about.
Yeah, it's
Not a Beckett play. Okay, now to backtrack a little bit, I do have writer's prompts, but I wrote them all.
Wait a minute, what?
I've got a notebook. I have got
There might-
notebooks at home,
There might be a throwdown
and
here.
one of them is I hear something and write, what would happen if this happened? What if Ma decided to murder her cousin for the family china, and just scattered little stuff that I write down and jot down. Then later on, a lot of them I go, what the hell was that? As I'm crossing it out. But occasionally I will hear something that just sticks. And once upon a time, I was watching a streaming series called Russian Doll.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a scene where Natasha Lyonne and Elizabeth Ashley, who I've had the warms for like 40 or 50 years.
Worms. That's a new one.
I enjoy that. That's
Okay,
my new
hot for
Hot.
yeah.
I like the warmth.
I like the warmth.
But she and Leon were sitting in a hospital ER waiting room.
Okay.
And Leon comes in to pick her up, and they both just sit there in silence. And finally, Leon turns to Ashley and says, "So is this the first Beckett play you've been in?"
I remember that.
And I thought, oh, God, I have to steal that. And like Picasso says, good artists borrow, great artists steal.
Yes.
So I just stole it outright. But then I have the problem, okay, now what comes after that?
Yeah.
And who's saying it? And then I started writing more notes and writing more notes. And then I have a character here. Who's he talking to? Oh, that's who he's talking to. And why is he there and why are they together, nobody around? Because they had to sneak in. Why do they have to sneak in? Where are they sneaking into? They're sneaking into a wedding. That's why. And then it just kept going from there.
From there.
And I won't say any more about it
Sure.
because you'll have to come and see it.
Come
Yes.
see.
So did you ever travel for any of your writing? Have you ever decided that you were going to pick up and go someplace? And
No, I go into anaphylaxis if I have to travel anywhere.
okay.
Before I came down here from 20th and Washington, I had to make sure I had my EpiPen with me.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're all right.
Well,
As am I.
we are certainly glad to have you here in Lincoln.
I feel like you could just, put a bunch of words in a bag and just, come up with things.
I tried that once. It doesn't work nearly as well as you'd think.
Fair enough. Although at least he does make his own writing prompts, so we'll say respect for that.
Adrian, what is Planted about?
Yes, Planted.
What is it about?
Or whatever.
It's about 10 minutes, 12 minutes.
Something like that.
And honestly, how many
The
songs?
question is, in case they didn't hear, what is Planted about?
Yes, and how many
Ask
songs
Adrien.
are in the short musical?
This year there's 2 songs.
2 songs. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Last year and the year before, we had 3 songs, but this year it's just 2 songs.
Okay.
So, it is about a young couple in Nebraska, and they are trying to make big decisions about what you should hold on to. So, yeah. Is that a good description
It's
of
a
it?
great description.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
To see how that plays out.
You're supposed to go through and decide if it gives you joy, and then then
Oh, I
you
hate
decide-
that lady. She also said you shouldn't
And
have
it-
more than 30 books, and
and
she
does it-
should be burned at the stake
Wait,
for
who
saying
is this
that.
lady that said what?
I
She's
think
the
she was
organizing
Japanese organizer lady.
Mary Kondo, is that right?
Marie Kondo, isn't
Marie
it?
Kondo.
Yeah, I think she got super popular in Japan because, of course, there's a premium on space in Japan.
Yeah.
And
Tiny island.
Yeah.
Lots of people.
A lot of tiny apartments. So I think she kind of got popular because she was showing people how to get rid of a lot of their things. If it doesn't spark joy, you get rid of it. You hold it, and if it doesn't spark joy, you throw it away.
Or does it speak to your legacy?
Yeah, and you should never have more than 30 books. And I'm like, all right, boop, you're done.
Well, I don't know.
You're done.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard once she had kids, she kind of was like, "Oh yeah, forget this." She was
That's
just
hilarious.
done with
She needs to come out
decluttering.
like to the public. I'm sorry, I was wrong.
Yeah, I
She
think
needs
she
to
might
admit
have.
it.
I think she might have. Once she had kids, was like, "Yeah, there's no way you can
No,
keep your
no,
house
no,
like
no.
this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in America, we like space, so
Yeah.
we
Well-
put stuff in all our space.
Yeah.
Exactly.
America, we like stuff.
Yeah. So, that's better. Yes,
Don't
we like
tell us
stuff.
not to buy stuff. We'll buy more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm going to have to go back and look up the George Carlin routine about stuff.
Yes, a
Yeah.
place for your stuff.
Yes. Stuff is important. In fact, I think Amazon has probably dropped some stuff off at my house today.
That's right.
Oh.
If not today, tomorrow. Yay, Amazon.
That's your layer.
Because your stuff is
At my
stuff.
lair.
but other
We're
people's
at
stuff
your
is-
work layer.
Yes, this is my work lair. Earlier, we were at my home lair.
Layer.
Lair. That's
I
true.
have lairs all over town.
He does.
Wait, that sounds bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way.
That sounds really stalky.
Oh, so great to talk to you guys.
Yes,
and
thank
see
you. Thank you for
And
inviting
talk
us.
about this. How exciting. And awesome that you only have to come twice to see all of the plays.
Yes.
not all festivals work that way. So that's great.
Yep, Flight A and Flight B starts on July 17th and runs through July 27th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Check their website and their
And
Facebook
they're here
for more details. Yes, and it will be here at the Temple Building in the studio
in the Black Box.
theater. Yes, indeed.
And be sure to call in for tickets because sometimes we run out of seats.
We do, yes.
Yes.
And in fact, they've already started selling. I think it's because we put that early bird special on, but go get them quick. And I don't.
They are going.
I don't recommend trying to buy them at the door.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Because
get
they
on
had
the
some
website.
sold out last year
we had
and
a
had
couple
to
of sold out
turn away
performances,
people.
and there was
So
one night, we had to turn away like 8 to 10 people or something. And
That
one
sucks.
performance,
Yeah.
Yeah, you hate to do that, and apparently the tickets have been really going well this year. So every year it gains more and more popularity. So make sure you get your tickets so you can get here because I mean the studio theater isn't that big.
No.
It's a black
No.
box theater, so it's not
It's
like
not
a
the
full size
big one.
theater. So
And it's
Yeah.
exciting too because it's the 10th year. So I think the 10th anniversary, a lot
Super
of people
cool.
who have seen it in the past are thinking, oh, it's the 10th year. And so they
Yeah.
may be coming out.
I love
So-
it.
And also the great thing about it is there's like over 50 people involved. Like if you add up the performers and the directors and the playwrights, it's a lot of people.
Yes, it is.
So if those people invite their friends and their family, then that's a big crowd
It's
already.
full.
And
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a lot of people. Sometimes I remember last year. Was it last year? There was a lady that was in a cast as a performer, and she like
2 years ago.
2 years ago, I think she invited like her entire home county,
oh my God.
and they all came because it was like
Good.
one night. I think everybody in the audience was either her friend or family. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
We've
How
tried to
fun for
invite her
her.
back every year. So
Can
they're
you
like,
come back,
are you,
please?
are you coming to audition? 'Cause you brought like half the state of Nebraska. So yeah.
That's
Awesome.
wonderful.
Well,
I love.
congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations on your play, and we're so excited for the First Flight Festival.
Absolutely. 10 years. I love new play festivals. Lincoln is lucky to have a playwriting collective and that they get to show them off. And this is one of the ways they get to show off all the writers that you guys have here. Thank you so much
Yes, thank you.
for coming to talk to us. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
For talking with us.
Break all the legs.
Thank you, Adrien, for talking
Yes,
with us.
absolutely.
First time for both of you.
Yes.
With our center square,
Center
Jamie
square.
Bullins. Thank you, sir.
I need a catchphrase.
You do. You gotta have a little, like the
We'll
Rock or
work on
something. You
that.
gotta have a catchphrase.
Yeah.
We'll work on that. Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening and supporting the arts in the Platte River area and beyond. Please subscribe to our podcast so you are sure to catch all of our future episodes and join us on social media. See you next time on the Platte River Bard.